How's it going, everyone? This is Mike. Welcome back to Monday and another episode of Movies from A to Z. And this week, the letter E stands for Experiment in Terror from the year 1962, a fantastic thriller directed by Blake Edwards and starring Lee Remick, Glenn Ford, Stephanie Powers, and Ross Martin. Uh, wow, just a beautiful film, very suspenseful, um, and it's also classified as a film noir in my film noir Bible here, which I read every day. You believe that, don't you? I read that every day. Okay, so if you haven't seen this, please give it a chance. It opens up with a young woman named Kelly Sherwood, played by Lee Remick, beautiful actress, driving home late at night across the San Francisco Bay Bridge, and you can see the lights of the bridge in front of her, looking like diamonds, and all the lights of the city on each side. And while she's driving her convertible across the bridge, and with a nice little smile on her face, not a care in the world, you get all this very creepy, tense music by Henry Mancini, which gives you the idea that something very bad is about to happen to this woman. So she drives into her garage. She lives in a beautiful house in a section of San Francisco called Twin Peaks, and that's not the Twin Peaks you're thinking of. Beautiful house on a hill. And she drives into her garage, and she's just about to leave the garage when all of a sudden the garage door closes all by itself, and she stands there frozen in fear. It's deathly quiet, and she starts hearing the sound of very labored breathing, and before she knows it, a man has grabbed her from behind, put his hand over her mouth. This man just comes out of nowhere. He seems to know everything about her younger sister Toby, with whom she lives. Toby is played by Stephanie Powers, and he knows names, he knows addresses, he knows where they've been, he knows where she works. The woman is a bank teller at a bank in San Francisco, and he wants her to steal $100,000. And he says, if you call the police or if you don't do what I tell you, I will kill you and your sister. I've already killed 2 people. I'm not afraid to kill again. So that's where it all starts. Now, I don't want to give too much away, because if you haven't seen this film, I'm highly recommending it. Directed by Blake Edwards, the cinematography is by a man named Philip H. Lathrop, who has a fantastically long filmography, both films and television. He did films like The Monster of Piedras Blancas, which is a terrific little science fiction monster movie from 1958. He also did other films with Blake Edwards and with music by Henry Mancini, like Breakfast at Tiffany's, Days of Wine and Roses. He also directed 61 episodes of the TV show Peter Gunn, which was created by Blake Edwards, who also directed some of the episodes with great jazz music by Henry Mancini. It's funny, I didn't realize that until I looked him up on Wikipedia, but when I was watching Experiment in Terror, I found myself thinking of Peter Gunn. And if you've never seen that show, which was on TV from 1958 to 1961, you really need to check it out, because it was just like a 30-minute film noir every week. It was wonderful. He also directed films like he shot films, I should say, such as Lonely Are the Brave and Earthquake. Okay, so very interesting cinematographer. Beautiful to look at, very suspenseful story. It plays into a lot of fears that people have, both back when this was made in 1962 and what we certainly have now. People who are accosted in the place they feel most comfortable and safe, which is their own home. And it also has to do with people being in large crowds. There's something happens at a baseball stadium. I don't want to give too much away, but it relates to what's going on in the world today, where people are in large concert halls, large outdoor areas, like the shooting in Las Vegas, the attack at the concert in the United Kingdom, all sorts of things where people are out in public and all of a sudden violence begins and they're caught and they're trapped. So this is a very pertinent film for people of today, as well as for people who want to see a good classic thriller from the old days. Okay, now Ross Martin plays the villain. He plays a guy named Red Lynch. Now Ross Martin may not be a familiar name to a lot of people, but he was in the old TV show The Wild Wild West, playing a character called Artemus Gordon, where every week he'd put on a different disguise, a different voice, and he's very, very good here. So I don't know what else I want to say about this. I'm going to try to make this a little bit of a shorter video, because my videos have been quite long lately. But so letter E is for Experiment in Terror. Highly recommended. I think you would enjoy this if you haven't seen it. And I don't think James has put up his video yet. I'll have to go check. Ian put his up several hours ago, and you've got to watch his video because he's taking on the film Eraserhead. So you need to find out what he has to say about that. So anyway, letter E, Experiment in Terror, and I am out of here.